Hola, y'all. So I have not put anything on The American Hooker, my YouTube channel, in quite some time. So as you can see, the scars are, I couldn't quite tell. They've healed. That's from cutting. You can see over here. I cut myself less on this. I usually must use this arm because I'm right-handed. And I'm an emotional cutter. So for you people who out there who don't know what that means, people who cut, they're not trying to kill themselves. Like, I was not trying to kill myself, although I have had a very serious suicide attempt. And if any of this bothers you, if you have an emotional trigger, 998, you can text or dial. It's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and they're on staff 24 hours. There's always a professional that can help you and get you to the medical and or psychiatric help, medical and psychiatric help that you need. So don't be afraid to dial. Your life is worth it. On July 8th, in 2023 at Motel 6, in the morning of that, I attempted suicide. I took 60 pills of propranolol, prescribed by Atakinikichi at Hillview Mental Health Center, and it's not supposed to be prescribed really at all. It's a beta blocker. I don't have high blood pressure, and what it does is lowers your blood pressure. So they used to give it to people like sometimes for performance anxiety, like if they were going to give a speech. So let's say like your heart was racing and it caused you to sweat a little, but it's very, very dangerous. You shouldn't mess with your blood pressure at all. Unless it's too high, which can cause you to stroke. I think stroke out. But you really, so anyway, I knew it would kill me. I looked everything up how to kill myself. And because Lisa Bloom was attacking me. And I really wanted to die. I was not in a place I wanted to live. And so I took it and I was rushed to the hospital. Well, first the cops came on a wellness check. And they asked me if I wanted help. And at that point I was like, well, maybe I can get some help. So I went to the hospital. And then I was at Kaiser. They made the choice, Rivoli from Hollywood Division made the choice to go to Kaiser Sunset because they're the best cardiologists in the country. And nobody really knew what to do because I'd taken so much. The last person who took 5 grams, I took 6. And they didn't know what to do. And of course, what happens is you're not permanently damaged, but the mechanism in your kidneys, it's about the size of a grain of rice, which regulates blood pressure, is affected. And so it's just flooded with all of this medication and just could not regulate my blood pressure. And so I flatlined. And they've been giving me amphetamines up the wazoo. I mean, like, believe me, like, they gave me Dexedrine. I mean, I took like the biggest, it was like Jackie O's prescription. And so there was just nothing. And so the old Mexican woman that was watching me, the security guard, she had obviously knowledge of Santa Muerte. And she sort of had that sort of knowledge. Now, I don't know if she had Street Chris in her purse. She had to make a phone call. I don't know how it got into the hospital, and I don't really care. So what happened was they right into me, Pulp Fiction style. And what it did was raise my blood pressure so rapidly that I had a heartbeat. But I was dead for 4 minutes. So the long-term consequences, obviously nobody knew what happened. Also, my brain could have exploded. First of all, my heart could not have worked. I could have an aneurysm from such a rapid rise in blood pressure. But what happened is mostly my eyes are affected. Because I was dead for 4 minutes, I lost. So you can see my eyes are very glossy. And they weren't that, and they're also a different color. Slightly. They changed slightly from the oxygen in my eyes from time to time. It's a little less noticeable when I have my glasses on. It's more noticeable when I have my contacts, and it's like I'll be like, the blood vessels are not the way they should be. So they've deteriorated. But remember, also my eyeball, the gelatinous gel, is also deteriorating. And so I will go blind completely at some point. What happens is I get these flashes of light. I probably shouldn't stare at the sun, but I have this beautiful view of the sun. I was staring out the window. And so I can see a little G on the bed behind me. So I will go blind at some point in my life. Not today, not tomorrow, but thanks to Lisa Bloom and John Kerry et al., I get to wonder when I'll wake up and I won't be able to see, which is terrible. Which is like, I haven't really dealt with the fact I died. Like my therapist asked me that, have you like dealt with it at all? I'm like, no. Like, I don't know. There's like a support group for people who died and came back. I mean, is there like a quantum leap or like a flatliners club or something I can join? I don't know. But when you have a near death, it's not near death. This is death. Like I was dead. No brain, no oxygen, no heartbeat. I was dead. So you don't have a memory. I remember going to sleep. And I remember thinking, I'm checking out of this resort. And I went to sleep. And I have no memory of that because you're dead. Your brain isn't functioning. I do have a feeling of being in a place of absolute peace and joy with my husband. Adam, and who died in 2012. But I don't. That's just like a feeling. Like I don't have a memory. Like I don't remember what the afterlife is like. But you do when you come back. You know things. And I've always been, I guess, intuitive. I've been able to read a room very well. And it's always been a gift. And I've always been able to pick up on things very quickly, particularly about people. I have no math skills. And as Heather Lockwood found out, I have no eye-hand coordination. She's trying to teach me gang signs. And I think it was actually just a bunny. I don't know. It was like, I can't really do it. But let's see if I can get it. I don't know. Like, kind of like this. I don't know. I'll find the picture and post it. But yeah, we were like on the Long Beach train. And I was like, Heather, look, I'm doing gang signs. And she's like, bitch, no. So anyway, but yes. But yeah, she's found I have like very bad eye coordination. So yeah, like I will not be playing sports. I never was a sporty person. These are my new glasses. For those of you don't remember me with the old ones, I will switch to the old lady glasses. Let me switch. They're a different prescription. But because here's the old lady glasses. And now my newer, more stylish specs. I love these specs. They're very nice, and they see more of my face. Anyway, so I started to post something. The last couple posts, my other YouTube, which is tied to Eric Hastings 810, is American Hooker, and this is American Hooker 6969, which is the American Hooker. And American Hooker is my brand. Why? Because I'm a former whore. I really am. A lot of the things about fake Joaquin were not true. That he lied to me about being, basically he's impersonating his maid son. If I ever meet his maid son, baby, you're the guy I want to know. But I don't, I'm just like going to go into all that. But anyway, so the pictures of me cutting are very graphic. What happened was I was at 10479 South Hoover Street. And it was a placement by my mental health program. It was supposed to be temporary. And actually, if we'd been able to fix up the room and do it nice, like how everybody, like we wanted to do, it would have been that. I liked living, I love Catherine. She's amazing. And the neighborhood wasn't bad. It was Bessie Mekulo. And of course, this psycho named Lindy Bielecki, who was the daughter of a crazy person. Who I knew in Westmoreland County. Her name was Bonnie Carter. She was released from prison. No, she just walked out, basically. John Kerry's family let her out. I don't know, something like that. And then she came to Westmoreland County looking for her mother, and she thought my mother, Lucy Hastings, was her mother. It's been a long stalking story. But in 1999, there was a teacher at St. Florian's Elementary School where they both worked. My mother was the third grade teacher. Bonnie was the kindergarten teacher. And she was pregnant, so Bonnie bought a baby off the street. I don't know who gave her one. Grady Sizemore just found some little whore and took it out of her snatch and gave it to Bonnie. But the baby needed a colostomy. She could have had the injury is common in people who use Benzodrine. The intestines weren't attached. And so, as if you've seen Sons of Anarchy, that was the injury. So she could have had it fixed at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. They chose not to. Anyway, so she bought her little baby, Lindy. And so Lindy is, anyway. Like, I don't know. And I just don't care. I'm just like, I don't care about the baby. Bessie Mekulo moved her in, and she thought she was hotshot celebrity, was living there, whatever, I don't know. And so it became really bad. And of course, Charles Puth and John Puth, and of course, conjunction with their Reverend Ross, Cornelius Ross from Starlight Ministries, if those of you in the 80s. If you remember the show Anne, Buffy, Anne, the season 3 opener, is based on Cornelius Ross and his ministries. They would kidnap homeless people and convince them they were worthless, particularly homeless people that may have had substance abuse and mental health issues. And of course, as you know from Buffy, Anne defeated Buffy, who's using the pseudonym Anne, after she fled Sunnydale, after Angel's death. Which is all fiction, but it's just a great story. Not the Cornelius Ross part. Yeah, and so that was sort of like what happened. And so I just want to like touch in and just say hi. I'm okay. As you can see, I'm living in Gardenia. This is my lovely painting. I love this painting, by the way. It's I don't know. Like, it reminds me to read every day. I'm like, so I have to read. Just so you know, I want to start a book club, but I want it to be local. But I also want to use YouTube somehow. And the book I've chosen, I've decided, I'm such a bossy little bitch. I have decided to do all women writers. I'm a gay man, but there's something about, so I just decided we're going to do women writers. So then comes as all women. That could be lesbians, straight women, women of color. Like, it's just, you have to be like identified as a woman. But speaking of the first book I chose, The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. Why? I want to go to New Orleans on a crazy trip. This is kind of like, I read the book when I was in 5th grade, so I was 10 years old the last time I read it. Anyway, so I went to, I read Teltos, Lasher, something Farm. and this one. So maybe Honeybrook Farm? Blackwood Farm, I think is the name of the book. I can't remember exactly, but and of course, obviously my name Erik, E-R-I-K, comes from Prince Eric from The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty. When I chose to rename myself after I was moving out of Greensburg, Pennsylvania in 1999 after high school graduation, I was like, I need a new name. I hate my name because it doesn't resonate with me. Jane Hudock, a nurse when I was born, named me. My mother didn't even give a shit about my name. So I'm like, I'm gonna name myself Erik. I love that name, E-R-I-K. And so as Prince Eric, of course, as we know, was The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty is erotic. It's a retelling of the Sleeping Beauty, which also was my favorite Disney movie. It was my favorite Disney story. And then, of course, the adult version is my favorite. So yeah, I'm just wanted to check in, let y'all know I'm okay. Things are okay. Physically, I mean, other than my eyesight and pre-diabetes, pretty good. Mentally, I'm okay. I have bipolar 2 disorder. I don't take meds, and I don't think I'm ever gonna go back on them. I don't like them. I don't like the weight gain. I don't like the way it makes you feel. But I do have to get the pre-diabetic stuff under control because it is bad. Like I can put myself into a Sonny von Bülow coma, like just by eating a cheeseburger. So I've really got to get these insulin levels down. But the good news is my doctor ran the test at St. John's Community Care Clinic. There was no sign of diabetes yet. So he did a lot. So I'm good. I just have to get these insulin levels down so that they're manageable. And I'd like to address something that's a false rumor. I never got this guy. His name is Domenico Pacific. Dominic Pacifico. He's a porn star. Latino. Fucking hot as hell. Anyway, at one point, he needed a kidney. And so I was on my Twitter account and my TikTok, Erik8039. And I just reposted his Facebook post. That's all I did. Now, he obviously ended up that he was looking for a donor. No, obviously, I'm HIV positive, so I can't be a donor. But it was just like the donor registry. And so I was just looking for someone. And so I just posted it. Now, I'm not saying he got a kidney from me. I'm just saying I reposted it. But for some reason, Charles Puth is saying that I'm going around saying I got him a kidney. No. I just did what any human being would do. I took 5 minutes out of my day to repost something. What happened? I don't know. If anything happened. And I certainly would take any credit. Be like, oh, I got you a kidney, bitch. I do try and hit him up on Scruff, though, all the time. I'm like, Daddy, just come from Las Vegas and do me. Let's get wild. Let's get wild and freaky. But, because he's hot. There's a video of him, and it's like, okay, so he, like, walks in. And, like, the bottom, the slave is, like, in a hood, and, like, it's kind of like, and he just takes total advantage. And it's one of my hot favorite videos. It's one of the go-tos. Anyway, but, like, so, yeah. So, I just need to address Charles Puth. I don't need you to criticize me. You're not helping me. You're not supposed to be in my life, Puth. John Puth, Gretchen Puth, any Puth. You're supposed to Puth out of me. So Puth away from me, please. I've asked you nicely. I've been firm. You are not welcome in my life. You are a problem. Law enforcement needs to deal with John Kerry's fucking mistakes. If you're going to do a favor for him, rest assured you are an accessory to criminal activity and you will be prosecuted. It's not a matter of if you get caught. You're just also arrogant. You think I'm voiceless, I'm nameless, like Mary Jo Kopechnik, like Virginia Broward, like everyone who's been nameless and faceless and victimized by a horrible family led by their evil emperor, Ethel Kennedy. Now, Chancellor Palpatine has passed. Thank God, may she burn. And it's time you get the message that you can't kill people just because your last name is Kennedy. And you can't hurt people, John Kerry, just because you ate dog shit and you want to be president. Okay? There is right and there is wrong. There's some more relevance. Okay, like I'll be honest, I rolled gangbangers. And have they killed? Yeah. But not the innocent. So you need to learn appropriate behavior, all of you. And I think the best way to teach the Puth family, we don't have Case Western Psychiatric Hospital anymore. So the best way to teach you, isn't this cool? You can see the Chucky doll and my abacus, which kind of looks like the Parthenon a little bit too. And sometimes you can see Ganesha. He's right here. The best way to teach you all how to behave is to go back to federal prison. So I implore the marshal's office to defy your boss and do right by the American people. Because remember, they're so psychotic, psycho people are afraid of them. So we really need to put Puth back in prisons.